FLUX 2 just arrived, and the entire AI image world feels like it shifted overnight. The realism is cleaner, the lighting is smarter, the characters stay consistent, and the text rendering finally looks like something you can trust in a real design project. And the crazy part is that all of this comes from an open model. For the first time, it feels like open source is catching up to the polished closed systems that creators have been relying on for years. So today, let's break down everything inside FLUX 2 and why people are calling it one of the most important image models of the year. Alright, so Black Forest Labs has been teasing FLUX 2 for months, and now that it is out, the hype actually makes sense. Unlike most updates that only tweak a few layers or add a small speed boost, FLUX 2 goes straight after the biggest problems creators deal with every day. The headline feature is the new multi-reference system. You can feed up to 10 images into the model at once, and FLUX 2 uses all of them to maintain consistent characters, clothes, lighting, and overall style across every generation. If you are a product designer, comic artist, fashion creator, or someone building long sequences for a brand, you already understand how big this is. Instead of saving separate LoRAs or manually tuning prompts for hours, the consistency is now built into the core of the model. And this consistency works even at high resolution. FLUX 2 can generate and edit images at up to 4 megapixels. That level of detail means cleaner skin texture, stable materials, sharper reflections, correct shadows, and hands that no longer look like random geometry. People have been testing this model with extreme prompts like tricky perspectives, glass surfaces, thin jewelry, and soft fabrics, and the results hold up surprisingly well. The lighting has also improved a lot. Backlighting, rim lights, neon glows, and hard shadows all look more controlled. It feels like the model finally understands what light is supposed to do instead of just copying patterns from the training set. But the feature that caught the design community by surprise is the text rendering. For years, open models have failed to produce clean, readable text. The letters would bend or melt or produce strange shapes. FLUX 2 finally fixes that problem. Infographics, posters, UI mockups, magazine layouts, buttons and labels, even things like brand slogans now look reliable. You can actually create structured compositions without the usual frustration. This one upgrade alone makes FLUX 2 useful for people working with clients because the output finally looks professional. A big part of why FLUX 2 feels different is the architecture. Black Forest Labs did not reuse the FLUX 1 stack. They rebuilt the entire system from the ground up. The model is split into two major components. On the semantic side, there is a Mistral 324B vision language model that reads your prompt and your reference images together. This VLM is responsible for understanding what belongs where, how materials behave, how different objects should interact spatially, and what the final scene is supposed to represent. It understands relationships like distance, scale, pose, texture, and lighting cues in a much deeper way than earlier models. The second half is a rectified flow transformer. This is the engine that handles composition, shapes, geometry, and the precise details that make the final image look polished. Instead of forcing everything through standard diffusion networks, this transformer processes visual structure more intelligently. And on top of that, Black Forest Labs built a brand new VAE. The VAE balances compression, reconstruction, and learnability in a way that reduces loss and improves detail. That means you get fewer blurry edges, fewer artifacts, and a much cleaner latent space for editing workflows. Now let's talk about the lineup. FLUX 2 actually comes in 4 different versions. The flagship is FLUX 2 Pro, which is the one you access inside the Black Forest Labs playground and through their API. This is the most powerful and most polished version, built to compete directly with closed-source models that studios use for production work. Then there is FLUX 2 Flex, which is for people who want more control. If you want to adjust step count, tweak guidance scale, or push the model toward sharper detail at the cost of speed, this is the version for you. After that comes the fan favorite, FLUX 2D. This is the fully open weight model with 32 billion parameters. It combines text-to-image and image editing into one checkpoint so you don't have to load separate models for each task. You can run it on services like FAL, Replicate, Runware, Together AI, Deep Infra, Cloudflare, or you can run it locally if you have strong enough hardware. And then there is FLUX 2 Klein, the distilled version that is coming soon. It is designed to be smaller, faster, and fully open under Apache 2. That means more developers can integrate it, and more creators can run it without renting heavy cloud GPUs. The most impressive part is that all versions, even the open ones, support multi-reference input and text-based editing. This removes a huge amount of complexity from creative workflows. You do not have to switch checkpoints for every task. You do not need 8 different LoRAs to keep a character consistent. You just load your reference images and go. Now let's talk numbers. The benchmarks for FLUX FLUX 2 are surprisingly strong. It performs extremely well on ELO evaluations compared to both open models and several closed ones. Black Forest Labs even compared FLUX 2 directly with Google's Nano Banana Pro, which was one of the most hyped models of the year. On difficult structured prompts that usually break models, like scenes with complicated spatial relationships or multiple characters interacting with each other, FLUX 2 holds its ground. They tested prompts like a monkey holding a pink banana sitting on a tiger in front of a horse with an astronaut in the background. These are the kinds of scenes where models often fail because the spatial logic becomes chaotic. But FLUX 2 gets the relationships correct and maintains clarity. This is a big deal for artists and developers. It means the model understands the physical logic inside the scene instead of just guessing based on training patterns. And because FLUX 2 integrates smoothly with tools like diffusers, Comfy UI, and Cloudflare workers, it fits into existing pipelines without friction. The developer community is already diving into it because the open core approach makes it easy to build on top of. Another important thing is performance. FLUX 2 runs surprisingly fast, especially considering the level of detail it produces. The inference cost is lower than many models in the same performance tier. This makes it easier for creators and small studios to adopt without increasing expenses. One thing that really makes FLUX 2 stand out is how good it is at maintaining style across sequences. If you are building a comic panel, product catalog, character lineup, storyboard, or brand identity set, the multi-reference system keeps everything coherent. The model does not drift into new styles or accidentally change proportions. The hair stays the same, the face stays the same, the lighting stays the same. This kind of stability is rare in open-source image models. And when it comes to editing, FLUX 2 is even more flexible. You can take an existing image, describe what you want changed, and the model applies the edit without destroying the rest of the picture. You can adjust clothing, lighting, color, background objects, camera angle, and even complex materials. Instead of producing chaotic results or warping the original image, the edits blend cleanly. The new text rendering upgrade also opens the door for UI designers. People are already generating website wireframes, mobile app screens, dashboard layouts, social post templates, magazine covers, and even logo ideas. The text is sharp enough that you can hand the output to a real client and not feel embarrassed by the results. This is one of the first open source models that actually gets typography right, and that changes everything. For years, people have said that open source image systems are great for fun projects, but not ready for commercial work. FLUX 2 changes that. You can now build professional-level imagery completely outside closed ecosystems. Now let's talk about where FLUX 2 fits into the bigger picture. The AI image world is moving fast. Models like Lumina, Ideogram, Midjourney, and DALL-E have dominated for a long time because of their polish and style control. But FLUX 2 brings something different. It gives creators freedom. You can modify it, fine-tune it, run it locally, integrate it with your own tools, and experiment with new workflows. This open ecosystem pushes the whole field forward, and the quality jump in FLUX 2 proves that open source can compete at the highest level. The future versions will probably push this even further. FLUX 2. Klein will give users a small, fast model with strong consistency, and deeper integrations with Comfy UI mean you will be able to build pipelines that were impossible a year ago. So the real question now is this: how will this shift affect the creators who depend on closed systems? If open source keeps improving at this speed, the gap between closed and open models might disappear entirely. That would give artists more freedom, more control, and more ownership over their tools. FLUX 2 is more than an upgrade. It is a sign that AI image generation is entering a new chapter. A chapter where creators are not stuck behind paywalls and proprietary systems. A chapter where quality and freedom actually come together. Which feature hits the hardest for you? The multi-reference system, the text rendering, the 4-megapixel resolution, or the new editing pipeline? Drop your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.